What's up, Cinemaniacs? I just got back from the live adaptation of Cinderella. Yes, the story that gets made over and over and over again. And this version just happened to be number 9 on my most anticipated list for 2015. First off, we're going to start off with Lily James, who plays Cinderella. She put on a magnificent performance, and her chemistry with everyone in the movie was fantastic, especially the chemistry between Cinderella and the prince. Richard Madden was my first introduction to him, and he did a very good job. But the one thing that I do want to say, I'm going to start off with a couple of negatives here. And negatives, it all depends on how you look at it. The royal men in this movie, they had some bulging issues. It looked like they were wearing athletic cups, and it was a little distracting from time to time. I actually heard some people as I was leaving the theater say, yeah, he definitely had a few socks stuffed in there. Which is hilarious. I mean, I don't know why they had that in the movie, but they did, and it was a little distracting from time to time. The other thing that was a little distracting and it was a little weird, to be honest, the cleavage that Cinderella had. This is a tiny girl. Lily James is a very tiny girl, but they really utilized the cleavage as much as you possibly could. And it was a little weird, considering it's a PG movie that's kind of made for kids. Little strange. I'm sure some people will enjoy it. But the chemistry between them two was great. I enjoyed them in the movie a lot. I thought that Lily James did an exceptional job as Cinderella. And you have Lily James, who's playing Cinderella as this very good-willed, good-natured person who is very strong and takes all the bad stuff that's been dished on her and understands that she doesn't have it as bad as some people, which is really difficult to take when you see how she has to live. And this is what I'm going to say about this movie and most movies that you have villains in. That is, Cate Blanchett plays the evil stepmother perfectly. You had in Maleficent, another Disney movie, where they took Maleficent, who is one of the most feared villains of all time in all of cinema, and they quickly took her from there, threw a bunch of glitter, rainbows, and happiness on her, and her portrayal as a villain is now forgettable, kind of like that movie was. Cate Blanchett, on the other hand, took the evil stepmother to another level. You were terrified of her, she wanted you to be terrified of her, and she loved every second of it, for the most part. She was so good in her role. I know it's early. I would not be surprised if she gets a nomination for supporting actress. That's how good she was in this role. And then you had the evil stepdaughters. They were portrayed in the movie how you would want them to be portrayed. And it was hilarious. They led to some really funny moments. There's a particular scene. One of them is singing, and it is awesome. So some of the parts that I'm sure people are going to wonder about is like the transformation of everything, the mice to horses, the pumpkin to a carriage and all of that stuff. It was very well done. Yes, you could tell that the mice were CG and the pumpkin and all of that stuff, all CG work, but it looked extremely magical on the screen. That's what I would hope that they were looking for. Overall, the movie was at pretty much a perfect length of 112 minutes. Yes, they could have cut it down a little bit, but that's just nitpicking at this point. And the other thing that I want to say is I have never been a huge Kenneth Branagh fan. I haven't enjoyed a lot of the movies he's directed, but this movie and this vision he had for this movie was perfect. Don't get me wrong, you're not getting the musical that you got kind of from Cinderella, the original. It's not going to have a ton of singing in it. There's barely any singing in it at all. The mice don't talk. The animals don't talk. That's parts that you're losing, but you're almost kind of getting that, like you're in the woods kind of watching this all play out. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to understand what the hell the mice are saying. It's kind of like you watching it all unfold. This, my friends, is why remakes are made. Reboots, retellings, remakes. This is why they happen, because every once in a while you hit gold. It doesn't happen all the time, but that's why you do it. This movie was very charming, and because it was so well adapted from animation to live action, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. I am smitten with this movie. It was so charming, and yes, it has its flaws, but they are easily overlooked. That's why I rated this movie as high as I did. The theater that I was in wasn't full. There was probably about 10 people in it. It was a late showing, but I almost wanted to stand up and clap at the end. I wanted to give this an ovation because I think Kenneth Branagh's vision of this movie played out perfectly. So I'll go ahead and give him some claps right now. Kudos. Great job, Kenneth. I know you watch. So now I have a question for you. I know most of you don't like reboots, remakes, retellings, all that kind of stuff, but what are some of your favorite remakes and reboots? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, please don't forget to like and share this video, but most importantly, don't forget to click that subscriber button on the YouTube page. We're going to be giving away prizes very soon, and subscribers will have first dibs on winning them. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I will see you guys soon.